Hi there, I'm Saul from San Francisco. Please like and subscribe because my story animated will give $1,000 to one lucky person in the coming 7 days. When I was only 2, Mom left Dad because his business was failing miserably, and she didn't want to be with someone poor. But growing up, Dad adored me and made sure I had everything. But over the next few years, he turned really lucky and his business was booming again. And just like that, we were richer than ever. We had a super big mansion, fancy cars, and butlers. On my 4th birthday, Dad said he had a big surprise for me, and I was super excited for it. But then he introduced me to his girlfriend, Linda. Aw, Saul, you're adorable, baby girl. Ew, she was so weird. But very soon I discovered that she was a witch too. The second Dad would turn his back, she would go all crazy on me. You look like a filthy boy from a slum. And what's with your ugly hair? Ew. But Dad wouldn't listen to a word against her. He was so blindly in love. Soon after they got married, and the first thing Linda did was transfer all of Dad's money to her name. A year later, she gave birth to Tanya, who was the cutest. But slowly, Linda started revealing her real face to Dad too. One day, while Dad was getting ready for a business trip, Linda went all bonkers on him. I have a night out with my friends, and you want me to take these good-for-nothing kids with me? You better stay home and do it yourself. Don't talk to me like you're my boss. It's because of me that you get to enjoy all these luxuries. I work hard and I feed everyone here, so don't give me that attitude. Oh, who says I'm not the boss? Saying that, she threw the property papers in his face and asked him to leave her house. This was crazy, but what Dad did was even crazier. He left us forever, and I had to put up with my witchy stepmom. Now, Linda would spend all of Dad's money on shopping and her parties all day long and not even care about Tanya. So I made sure to look after her, and over time, we grew quite close. One day, Tanya fell sick, and I asked Linda to go get her some medicine. But when she came back, her hands were full of shopping bags. And worse, she didn't get the medicine. Seriously, Linda? I can't believe you're doing this to your own daughter now. Okay, I forgot. What's the big deal anyway? It's just a fever. It'll go away on its own. But the important thing is, what will I wear for tomorrow's party? Whoa, this woman was something. Years passed and Tanya started going to school with me, but I was concerned about her grades. So I went to her room to help her with the upcoming tests, but Linda didn't seem happy about it. Why are you trying to make her a geek like you? Isn't it enough that she has the biggest glasses on her nose? For God's sake, let her be like me, growing up and finding a rich husband. That's what smart women do. Ugh, she was horrible, and Tanya was nothing like her. So I made sure to help her when Linda wasn't around. Then one snowy evening, I thought Tanya was outside having snow fights with the neighborhood kids, but what I saw left me shocked. I realized all the kids had ganged up on her and were throwing snowballs at her face. Take this, loser. OMG, he was so done. I ran out and picked up a huge chunk of snow and threw it at him. Don't you dare hurt my sister, dummy. I chased all the stupid kids away and took Tanya inside. A few moments later, Linda walked in, and I told her all about it. So, what should I do? And what did you expect, really? Of course kids are gonna bully her for looking like a loser nerd. Linda, are you crazy? You're her mother. Do something. You want me to do something? Fine. From today, she won't go to school and anywhere outside, and then there'll be no more problems. What? How could she do that? Tanya ran up to her room in tears, and I went after her. Don't worry, little sis. I'll get you out of here. But how? She'd ground me forever if she finds out. Well, then she will never find out. That's when an idea hit me. If I kept Linda distracted, she wouldn't care about us. I swapped Linda's shampoo with green dye, and the next morning, she looked like the freaking Grinch as she ran to the salon in her bathrobe. Tanya and I laughed our butts off and headed off to school. I'd find more ways to keep Linda busy. Later that day, when I went to the school cafeteria to have lunch with Tanya, she didn't show up for quite some time. Just then, I heard someone crying from under the table. I bent down and saw Tanya. Hey, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Come on out. That boy, that Jerry, he took my glasses and pushed me. I couldn't see anything, and everyone started laughing. So I hid here. Oh, God. I marched straight to the boy's table and pulled him up by his shirt. Let me show you who the real gangster is, kid. Whoa, easy, please. What's wrong? I turned around to see Sebastian, a new student who had just joined my class. This guy has been bullying my little sister, and I'm here to teach him a lesson. OMG, I'm so sorry. He's my younger brother, and I'll make sure to teach him better. It's just that we're new here and he's having a tough time adjusting. But I promise, he won't do it again. He immediately grabbed the glasses from his little brother's hand and put them on Tanya. Well, that was sweet. Later during class, he apologized to me again, and I kind of felt I was too harsh with his brother. Hey, listen, it's just that I'm too attached to Tanya. I feel more like a mom to her, so I couldn't see her crying, and it's all right. I totally understand. Turns out, he and his brother were a lot like us. Their mother passed away long ago, and their dad was always away for work, and that connected us instantly. He also suggested that we all go sledding in the evening so that our siblings could get along. It sounded like a great idea, and the four of us actually had a lot of fun together that evening. But as soon as we reached home, I was shocked to find Linda all flared up in anger. You all think you're smart enough to play your little pranks on me? Well, now it's my turn. Tanya, you're grounded forever. No school, no friends, and finally, no sister. 'Cause Saul's moving to an orphanage right now. What? Why? You can't do that. Mom, no, please don't say that. She's my sister and your daughter. No, she isn't. Not anymore. I have signed off the papers and gave up her guardianship. Now she's an orphan. So, pack up your bags and leave my house, Saul, before I kick you out. No, you can't make me leave. I tried to fight her for Tanya's sake, but that evil witch made the guards throw my stuff out of the house, and now I had no other option but to leave the house and Tanya. While I was leaving, Tanya kept screaming at me from the balcony. Please don't go, Saul. What will I do without you? It was hard for me to see her in tears, but I promised her I'd come back for her someday. After that, I kept walking for hours until it started raining and I stopped at a restaurant. Just then, the waitress came in and asked me what I wanted to eat. Well, I don't have any money, so I'm afraid I won't be able to order anything. But she sneaked me some hot chocolate from the counter and told me it was on her. She seemed like a really nice lady and even asked me if I wanted a job. A job? That'll be great. I didn't want to go to the orphanage, and this way I could earn some money too. So I started working there as a waitress. The lady also offered me a place to live, and I kind of felt like I'd found a new home. Days passed, and I even learned some basic tailoring and designing from the old waitress. Within a month, I was able to design beautiful dresses and sweatshirts out of old, rugged clothes. One day, while I was serving coffee to one of the customers, I accidentally spilled some over her dress. Are you blind? That's a designer piece. She seemed really mad, so I'd said I'd get her something to wear. I ran to the storage room where I had all my designs, and since I couldn't pick one for her, I carried them all to her. Oh my God, these are amazing. Who made them? I did. She looked awestruck by my talent and told me she was a world-famous designer herself. Her name was Angelica Martino. And then she offered me a job as a designer. This was freaking awesome. I couldn't believe my ears. I took this opportunity and followed her to Italy and joined her massive company. And within months, I was making more money than I'd expected. Honestly, I was quite happy, but I always felt that there was something missing from my life. Tanya. I told Angelica I wanted to visit San Francisco, but she wouldn't let me. I can't let anyone go just like that. We have business to do here. And if you still want to go, you can. But then I won't give you any credits for your designs, girl. What? Why had she turned into a Karen? But I wasn't gonna take that rubbish from her. I stormed out of her office, taking all my savings and cutting up all the designs I made for the company so they couldn't use them. Yeah, and I could hear the witch Angelica's screams as far up as the plane. As soon as I landed in the city, I crashed into someone I'd never imagined. Sebastian. Saul, is that you? Oh my God, I was so worried. I had no idea where you'd gone. Are you okay? Suddenly, I burst into tears and told him everything that happened, and he asked me to move into his place with him and Jerry. I said yes, and he took me to his huge mansion. And seeing the brothers taking care of each other made me think about Tanya even more. So I went to see her the first thing in the morning with Sebastian, but I was super shocked to see her all alone. She ran towards me as soon as she saw me and burst into tears. "Oh, Saul, where were you? I missed you so much. You said you'd come back for me, and I waited for you every single minute of every day. I felt so lonely without you. I missed you too, little sis. I thought about you every single day, and I'm so sorry that I made you wait for so long. But now that I'm here, I promise, I'm never gonna leave you alone, and I'll make up for everything." Then she told me that Linda had been living away with her rich boyfriend for months now, and she had left Tanya all by herself. She was unbelievable. I took Tanya with me to Sebastian's place, and I even filed a case against Linda for Tanya's custody, and she happily gave it away to me. Good riddance. After that, I opened my own fashion store. A few years later, Linda came back after getting dumped by her fraud boyfriend who took all her money and ran away. "I raised you all those years, so I deserve half of the money from your fashion store. You can't say no." "You didn't raise me, Linda. You just threw me out of my own house like trash. And now I'm returning the favor." "Yeah, Mom, I prefer to see you homeless because you're the worst mother on earth. Just get lost." "Oh, on second thought, why homeless when we can put her in jail? The right place for terrible people like her." We finally called the cops and filed a case against Linda. We won, and she was thrown in jail for years. And Tanya and I lived happily ever after.